1972. What if I told you that a single $50, one you might have held as a child or seen in your father's old coin jar, could now be worth a small fortune? The 1972 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 is one of those mysterious treasures that has collectors across America searching through their change with renewed excitement. It's not just another coin, it's a piece of hidden history that's taking the numismatic world by storm. Back in the early 1970s, the United States Mint was operating at full speed. Coins were being struck by the millions to keep up with a booming economy. But somewhere along the production line, in the heart of Philadelphia, a small batch of 1972 $50 slipped through without a mint mark. These coins carried the elegant image of Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, a design that symbolized pride, heritage, and craftsmanship. For decades, no one paid much attention. Many of these coins were spent on groceries, handed to kids for ice cream, or tucked away in coin albums without a second thought. But now, collectors realize that those no-mint mark halves tell a different story, a story of rarity born from a minting oversight that turned ordinary silver-colored coins into national treasures. The 1972 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 stands apart because it was produced without any identifying mint letter, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, not even the P that later became common for Philadelphia. This absence means it was struck during a very narrow window of time, when mint mark punches were either overlooked or removed from certain dies. Combine that with its limited mintage and pristine examples being incredibly hard to find, and you have a coin that's commanding strong prices among serious collectors. In high-grade condition, this coin can fetch hundreds, sometimes even thousands, at auction. And the demand is only growing as awareness spreads. Imagine someone years ago finding one of these coins in their pocket change and using it to pay for a cup of coffee, completely unaware they just gave away a piece of American minting history. Many already have. Stories circulate of collectors who once had these coins but traded them off for a few cents more than face value, before realizing years later that they had held a small fortune in their hands. The message is clear: every coin you overlook could be the one that changes your story. If you're holding a 1972 $50, take a close look. The date must read 1972, and the reverse should feature Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, with crisp, detailed engraving. Now look carefully near the bottom of the obverse, right under Jefferson's portrait. There should be no mint mark at all. The coin's shine, edges, and overall strike quality can add even more value. Those without the mint mark, especially in uncirculated or proof-like condition, are the ones collectors are chasing right now. If you believe you found one, don't rush to sell it. Have it professionally authenticated by PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted grading companies in the world. Their certification not only confirms your coin's authenticity but can multiply its market value, turning what looks like pocket change into a prized collectible. So before you spend that old $50 sitting in your change jar, take a moment to look closer. That small piece of metal might carry a chapter of American history, and perhaps a piece of your own past. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, it's one worth more than money itself. Check your drawers, check your jars, and who knows, your next great discovery could be waiting right under your nose. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1982. What if I told you there's a 1982 $50 that could turn an ordinary afternoon of coin searching into the discovery of a lifetime? A coin so mysterious, it carries no mint mark at all, and collectors are paying thousands for it today. This isn't just another old piece of change, it's a treasure that slipped quietly through history, bearing the face of Thomas Jefferson and the legacy of Monticello, yet hiding a secret the mint never intended. Picture this: a retired man in Virginia, sorting through his late father's old coin jar one rainy evening. He wasn't looking for anything special, just a bit of nostalgia. But then, his eyes caught a familiar silver gleam, a 1982 Monticello $50 with Jefferson's portrait. It looked ordinary at first, until he noticed something missing. No mint mark beneath the date. None at all. He sent it for verification, and the experts were stunned. It was a rare 1982 no mint mark Monticello $50, a striking error that slipped past the mint's sharpest eyes. What began as a sentimental evening turned into a discovery worth thousands, and a piece of American history rediscovered. The 1982 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson $50 is not supposed to exist. Every coin from that year was meant to bear a mint mark, a tiny D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a rare handful were struck without any mint mark at all, possibly due to a die preparation oversight at the mint. These coins were released into general circulation, unnoticed for decades. Today, collectors recognize them as one of the most intriguing modern minting mysteries, a symbol of imperfection that turned into perfection for collectors. In pristine, uncirculated condition, this coin's value has climbed into the thousands, with demand growing every single year. Imagine how many people spent this rare $50 without a second glance. Maybe it bought a cup of coffee back in 1983, or disappeared into a cash register at a roadside diner. Those small, thoughtless exchanges may have cost someone a collector's fortune. Every time someone overlooks a coin like this, a piece of history is lost to time, and an opportunity for discovery vanishes forever. When you're holding a 1982 Monticello $50, take a closer look beneath the date on the obverse side, right under Jefferson's portrait. If you see no mint mark at all, you might just be holding the legendary no mint mark error. The details of Monticello on the reverse should appear crisp and bold, and the coin should carry the classic silver-gray tone of early 1980s issues. Every edge, every letter matters, because the absence of that one tiny mint mark can make all the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. If you believe you found one, don't guess, get it verified. Contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their authentication not only confirms the rarity but can multiply the value dramatically. Certified examples are commanding top dollar sales at auctions and online marketplaces across the country. So before you spend that $50 sitting in your drawer or that coin jar passed down from your parents, take one more look. That small piece of metal might carry more history, more mystery, and more value than you ever imagined. Every great treasure starts with curiosity, and your next discovery could be closer than you think. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden wealth and history resting quietly in your pocket change. Because sometimes, the past doesn't just tell stories, it rewards those who listen. 1989. What if I told you that a simple $50 from 1989, a coin you might have held in your hands decades ago, could now be worth thousands to the right collector? Imagine that. A coin you once spent on a cup of coffee might just hold the key to a hidden fortune today. It was a quiet afternoon in Pennsylvania when a retired gentleman named Robert decided to open his old wooden coin box, the same one he'd kept since the late 80s. Inside, beneath a stack of Kennedy halves and Jefferson nickels, he found a shining 1989 P. Monticello Thomas $50. It looked ordinary at first, until he noticed something strange. The strike was unusually sharp, the details on Monticello glowed with a mirror-like finish, and the P mint mark seemed slightly misplaced. After sending it for evaluation, the result stunned him. It was a rare proof error coin, minted in Philadelphia, and collectors were willing to pay thousands for it. The 1989 P. Monticello Thomas $50 has become one of those quiet legends in the numismatic world. While millions were struck for circulation, a handful left the mint with a rare die error and proof-like characteristics, a combination so unusual that it instantly caught the attention of serious collectors. What makes these coins special isn't just their rarity, but their story. They mark an era when U.S. mint craftsmanship and precision were under transformation, and a few coins slipped through with beauty far beyond their face value. Too many people have spent or traded away this very coin without realizing its worth. Imagine someone using a $5,000 coin to pay for a parking meter. It's happened before. Some were tossed into change jars or passed down through generations, quietly hiding their true value. Don't let that be your story. Every day, more of these coins disappear into collections forever, and their value keeps climbing higher. If you happen to come across a 1989 $50, look closely. The Philadelphia mint mark, the letter P, should appear just beneath the bust. Examine Monticello's steps. If they appear razor-sharp or mirror-polished, you might be looking at a proof strike error. The weight and luster can also differ slightly from regular circulation coins, and that's often the first clue that you're holding something extraordinary. To confirm its authenticity and value, send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These experts can determine if your coin falls within the rare proof error category that collectors are chasing today. Many lucky owners have seen their ordinary 50-cent pieces turn into prized collectibles worth thousands of dollars. So before you spend that $50 sitting in your drawer or coin jar, take one more look. Because what might seem like a piece of loose change could be your hidden treasure from America's rich minting past. That old jar in your kitchen? It might just hold your future. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where every coin tells a story, and every story brings history back to life. 1990. What if I told you that a simple $50 coin, one you might have handled in the 1990s, could now be worth thousands? Yes, the 1990 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 is one of those mysterious pieces that slipped quietly into circulation, holding a secret that only a few sharp-eyed collectors have ever uncovered. Imagine holding a small piece of metal once worth 50 cents, now worth a fortune simply because of one missing mark. Picture this: a retired teacher from Ohio sorting through an old coffee can of change her late husband collected over the years. Most of it was ordinary, until she spotted a 1990 $50 that seemed just a little off. No tiny mint mark under Monticello, no P or D, just clean, perfect, and oddly silent. At first, she thought it was nothing. But after some curiosity and a bit of research, that very coin turned out to be one of the rarest finds of her life. A simple coin that spent decades unnoticed had now become a piece of American numismatic history. So what makes this coin so rare and valuable? In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Kennedy $50, but a few were struck without the mint mark, an error that occurred when a die missing its mark was used in production. These coins are genuine minting mistakes, not altered or faked, and their rarity lies in that missing detail. It's not about what's on the coin, it's about what isn't. Collectors and experts have placed huge premiums on verified no-mint mark 1990 $50, with some examples selling for thousands at auctions, depending on condition and proof status. Over the years, countless people have unknowingly spent these coins at face value. Imagine buying a soda with what could have been a small treasure. That's the thing about these rare finds, they often pass through our hands unnoticed. The biggest tragedy? Many of these rare halves likely ended up in banks or vending machines, their true worth never discovered. Don't let that happen to you. Every coin has a story, but only those who look closely get to finish it. If you ever come across a 1990 Thomas Monticello $50, pay attention. The date should read 1990, and when you check under Monticello, there should be no mint mark, no P, no D, just a smooth, unmarked surface. The details should be sharp, and the coin's overall appearance should feel authentic, not polished or altered. That small absence is the key to its incredible value. If you think you found one, don't clean it or handle it too much. Instead, have it professionally authenticated by PCGS or NGC, the two most trusted grading services in the U.S. Their certification not only confirms authenticity but also skyrockets the coin's value on the collector's market. So before you cash in that jar of coins sitting on your kitchen counter, take a moment to look closely. That old $50 might just be your ticket to something extraordinary, a hidden piece of American history that waited decades for you to discover it. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, that story can change your life. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain. 1996. What if I told you that a simple $50 from 1996, one you might have passed over at the grocery store or found jingling in your change, could be worth far more than 50 cents today? Imagine holding in your hand a piece of American pride, a coin that not only carries the image of Thomas Jefferson and his beloved Monticello but also a story of rarity, craftsmanship, and unexpected fortune. This isn't just loose change, it's living history, and collectors across the country are searching for it right now. It all began in the mid-1990s, a time when America was shifting into the digital age, but our coins still carried the same classic beauty that connected generations. In 1996, the Philadelphia Mint struck a special batch of Jefferson half dollars honoring Thomas Jefferson's iconic Monticello home. But among those coins, a small number emerged with stunning detail, exceptional strikes, and minting errors that set them apart. Stories soon began circulating in collector circles of individuals finding these rare 1996 p half dollars tucked away in old coin rolls, passed down from parents or discovered in dusty dresser drawers. One lucky collector reportedly sold his high-grade 1996 p Monticello half dollar for thousands after realizing its pristine condition and rarity, a reminder that sometimes, the smallest discoveries can hold the greatest value. So what makes this coin so special? The 1996 p Monticello Thomas half dollar is admired for its sharp strike, strong luster, and limited number of high-quality specimens that survived in mint condition. Many were circulated and worn down, but a select few remain nearly untouched, coins that showcase the perfection of the Philadelphia Mint's craftsmanship that year. Those preserved pieces, especially ones graded MS-67 or higher, have become highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Their value continues to rise as pristine examples become harder to find, making them a true highlight in the modern era of American coinage. There are countless stories of people who once held these very coins in their hands and never realized what they had. Some spent them for a soda or a bus fare, unaware that the coin they gave away could one day be worth hundreds, even thousands. It's a humbling reminder that history doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket, waiting for someone with an eye for detail and a love for the past to recognize its worth. Don't let another opportunity slip away like so many others have. If you come across a 1996 half dollar, take a closer look. You want to see that bold P mint mark just beneath the portrait of Jefferson, signifying its origin from the Philadelphia Mint. Examine the shine and detail, the crisp lines of Monticello, the deep definition in Jefferson's face, and the clean, mirror-like fields that separate a regular coin from a collector's treasure. Those features can make all the difference between pocket change and a prized rarity. If you believe you found one of these extraordinary coins, don't guess, get it verified. Reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving you an official certification that can dramatically increase its market value. Many collectors and dealers across the United States are actively searching for top-grade examples, and once verified, yours could easily become part of that growing demand. So before you dismiss that old coin jar sitting on your kitchen shelf or that forgotten roll of half dollars in the attic, take another look. That small piece of silver and copper might hold more than a memory, it might hold your next great story. Remember, every coin tells a tale, and sometimes, that tale can change your life. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden history and rare beauty waiting right in your own hands. Because your treasure might already be with you, just waiting to be found. 1998. What if a simple half dollar from 1998, one you might have spent without a second thought, could be worth hundreds or even thousands today? Imagine pulling out a handful of old change, only to discover a coin so rare, collectors are competing fiercely just to own one. That's exactly what's happening right now with the mysterious 1998 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half dollar, a coin that's rewriting what we thought we knew about modern minting. Picture this, it's 1998. You're at the grocery store, paying with cash like we all used to. Among the jingling silver coins in your hand sits a beautiful half dollar, Thomas Jefferson's Monticello glinting under the light. You spend it without a second thought. Fast forward to today. That very same coin, if it happens to be one of the rare no-mint mark errors, could be worth a fortune. Some collectors have found these coins tucked away in old drawers, inherited jars, or even inside dusty coin rolls from the bank, completely unaware they were holding a piece of modern American rarity. Now here's the truth, every half dollar minted in 1998 should carry a mint mark, typically a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. But a tiny batch escaped the mint's eyes. These coins were struck without any mint mark at all, a minting oversight that should never have happened. Because of this, the 1998 no-mint mark Monticello half dollar became one of the most sought-after modern coins among collectors. Only a limited number have surfaced, and when they do, they fetch impressive prices on auction blocks. Collectors prize them for their mystery, their rarity, and the strange story of how they slipped through the U.S. Mint's famously strict quality control. Many people have unknowingly spent these rare coins over the years. Some were given as change, others rolled into jars or even donated, their owners never realizing what they had. Imagine how many of these treasures were lost in circulation, each one a missed opportunity, each one a quiet fortune hiding in plain sight. But for those who still have their old change, or that coffee can of coins in the attic, there's still hope. If you happen to find a 1998 Monticello half-dollar, take a close look. The date should clearly read 1998, and right beside Jefferson's portrait, where a mint mark should appear, there's nothing. A clean, open space, no letter, no mark. That's your signal. Flip it over and admire the crisp design of Monticello. If the coin shows strong details and no damage, you might be holding something incredibly valuable. The best way to confirm its authenticity is to have it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can certify your coin, confirm its error, and help determine its market value. Even a lightly circulated example can bring strong offers from serious collectors who know how rare these are. So before you spend that old half-dollar or trade in your change, take one last look. Because inside that jar of memories might be a coin that changes your story, a forgotten treasure from 1998 that could turn nostalgia into newfound wealth. Every coin tells a story, and yours might just be the next great one. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you discover the history and fortune hiding in plain sight. 1992. What if I told you that a single half-dollar coin from 1992, one that looks completely ordinary, could quietly be worth thousands today? Most people have held it in their hands, spent it at a store, or let it slip through their change jar without a second thought. But a select few 1992 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollars have become the talk of the coin world, and their value is climbing faster than anyone expected. Picture this: a retired veteran in Ohio cleaning out his old coin collection from the 90s. Among the quarters and nickels sat a shiny 1992 half-dollar, nothing unusual, until he noticed something missing. No mint mark. No P or D under the date. Out of curiosity, he sent it to a grading service, and what came back shocked him. That simple coin, tucked away for over 30 years, turned out to be an ultra-rare no-mint mark variety, struck in error at the Philadelphia Mint. Within weeks, collectors were bidding over $10,000 to get their hands on it. That one discovery changed his life, and made him realize the treasure that had been sitting unnoticed for decades. Here's the truth: in 1992, the U.S. Mint produced millions of half-dollars, but a very small batch accidentally left the presses without a mint mark. Normally, every coin carries a small letter indicating where it was struck: a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, an S for San Francisco. But a mechanical oversight caused a limited number of these Monticello Thomas half-dollars to be released without any mark at all. That simple absence turned them into a collector's dream. Today, authenticated examples can sell for astonishing sums, depending on condition and strike clarity. Many collectors regret not checking their change sooner. There are countless stories of people who unknowingly spent these rare coins at gas stations, vending machines, or grocery stores decades ago. Imagine realizing today that the coin you used to buy a soda could have paid for a new car. These coins didn't vanish, they're still out there, sitting quietly in drawers, old jars, or inherited collections just waiting to be rediscovered. When you pick up a 1992 half-dollar, look closely under the date on the obverse side. That's where the mint mark should be. If there's no letter at all, no P or D, you may be holding one of these rare no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollars. The design should show the detailed portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the Monticello building on the reverse, crisp and well-defined. The absence of that tiny mint mark is what transforms this everyday coin into a historical treasure. If you believe you found one, don't hesitate to have it professionally graded and authenticated. Trusted services like PCGS or NGC specialize in identifying rare mint errors and will certify its authenticity, a step that can multiply its value instantly. Local coin dealers and numismatic shows can also help you get a professional opinion before you make any decisions about selling. So before you toss that old change jar aside, take a moment to look closer. The next great American treasure might be sitting right there in your hands, a small piece of history that tells a much bigger story. These rare 1992 no-mint mark half dollars are in high demand, and collectors everywhere are searching for them. Don't let your chance slip away. That old jar in your kitchen? It might just hold your future. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1996. What if I told you a single half dollar from 1996, one that looks just like the coins you might have spent at the grocery store, could today be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, the humble 1996 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson half dollar is turning heads in the collecting world, and it's not just because of its shine, it's because of the story it carries, the mystery behind its minting, and the fortune it could hold for someone just like you. Picture this: a man in Pennsylvania, cleaning out his late father's coin jar, finds a shiny 1996 half dollar. At first, he thinks nothing of it. Just another coin from the 90s. But under the lamp's glow, he notices something strange. The details on Monticello appear sharper, deeper, almost engraved by hand. The P mint mark looks slightly misplaced, and Jefferson's face bears an unusual texture, almost ghost-like. He decides to get it checked, and what he discovers changes everything. His father's old change jar held one of the rarest and most mysterious modern half dollars ever produced. The 1996 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson half dollar stands out for its striking minting anomalies and limited mintage quality from the Philadelphia Mint. Certain coins from that year were struck with extraordinary die pressure, creating deeply defined details and mirror-like finishes, a near-proof quality on a circulation strike. A handful were even believed to be mint errors or special test strikes, never meant for public release. These rare survivors, when found in pristine condition, have fetched incredible sums at auction, some climbing beyond $10,000 for flawless, uncirculated examples graded by PCGS or NGC. Countless collectors have stories of letting one slip away. Some spent theirs unknowingly on a cup of coffee, never realizing what they held. Others traded them in for face value, unaware of the treasure glinting right in their palms. Don't let that be your story. Every time someone overlooks one of these coins, another collector gains what could have been your small fortune. If you happen to come across a 1996 half dollar, take a closer look. The P mint mark should be clear and slightly offset. The Monticello design on the reverse must appear deeply struck, with crisp lines on the steps and dome. A mirror-like shine or proof-like surface is a major sign of rarity. Even the smallest doubling or die marks can signal something extraordinary, the kind of coin that collectors dream of discovering. If you believe you found one, don't hesitate. Reach out to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC, or visit a trusted coin dealer. A professional eye can confirm its authenticity and value, and in today's booming collector market, timing matters. So before you spend that half dollar or pass it along, pause and take a second look. That old coin jar in your kitchen, or the change in your dresser drawer, might just be holding a piece of American history, and your next big opportunity. Because every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth more than you could ever imagine. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history, the mystery, and the hidden wealth waiting right in plain sight. 1998. What if I told you that a simple 1998 half dollar, one you might have held in your hands decades ago, could be worth thousands today? That's right, a coin so ordinary, most people spent it without a second thought. But a small, mysterious batch of 1998 Thomas Jefferson Monticello half dollars without a mint mark has collectors across America on high alert. Back in 1998, the U.S. Mint was striking millions of coins for circulation, ordinary pocket change meant for everyday use. But somewhere in that sea of metal, a mistake slipped through. A few coins left the presses without the tiny mint mark that identifies where they were made. For decades, they've been quietly changing hands, tucked into jars, or lying forgotten in dresser drawers. Then one day, a retired schoolteacher from Ohio stumbled upon one in her late husband's coin collection. She thought it was just a regular $half, until an appraiser revealed the shocking truth. That tiny missing mark turned her 50-cent piece into a collector's treasure worth thousands. The 1998 no-mint mark Monticello $half is special because of what's missing. Normally, these coins bear a small letter, P for Philadelphia or D for Denver, just below the image of Thomas Jefferson's home, Monticello. But on these rare few, that mark is completely gone. This wasn't just wear and tear, it was a minting oversight, a 1-in-a-million strike. And because so few escaped into circulation, they've become a centerpiece for serious collectors. Today, verified examples have sold for astonishing prices, depending on condition, sometimes crossing into the thousands. Imagine finding one of these and thinking, it's just 50 cents, then spending it on gas or groceries. It's happened before, countless times. Coins like these slip through people's hands every single day, simply because they didn't take a closer look. And every time one is lost to circulation, the remaining few become even more valuable. Don't let your piece of American history vanish unnoticed. When you pick up a 1998 $half, look closely beneath Monticello. If there's no tiny mint mark, no P or D, you might be holding one of the rarest modern errors in U.S. history. Pay attention to the sharpness of the details, the shine of the metal, and the clarity of Jefferson's portrait. Every element tells part of the story, but that missing mark is the key. If you suspect you found one, don't take chances. Have it authenticated by trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can confirm its authenticity and potentially raise its market value even higher. You can also reach out to reputable coin dealers or local coin shows where experts can examine it in person. Some treasures aren't buried deep in the ground, they're hiding right in your home, waiting for someone with a careful eye to uncover them. That old jar of coins in your kitchen, that dusty box in the attic, it might just hold your next great discovery. So take a second look. You never know, your story could be the next one collectors talk about for years to come. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1971. What if I told you that a simple $half from 1971, one you might have tucked away in a drawer, passed through your hands at the grocery store, or jingled in your pocket years ago, could today be worth a small fortune? Imagine turning over an old Monticello Thomas $half with no mint mark, only to realize you've been holding onto a hidden treasure all these years. This isn't just another coin, it's a piece of American history that collectors are now chasing with incredible demand. Picture this, it's 1971, a time when gas was cheap, music was rich, and America was full of promise. The U.S. Mint had just transitioned from silver to copper-nickel coins, changing the very metal that had defined the nation's currency for decades. In the midst of that change, a small number of Jefferson, Monticello $half were struck without a mint mark, a tiny detail that went unnoticed by millions. Decades later, one man cleaning out his late father's coin collection came across one of these coins. At first glance, it looked ordinary, worn, slightly tarnished, but when he noticed the missing mint mark under Jefferson's portrait, everything changed. That single discovery turned out to be worth thousands. The 1971 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $half stands apart because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, during that time, did not include a mint mark. What makes it truly special, however, is the combination of its transitional features, striking quality, and the rarity of flawless specimens. Collectors today are in fierce competition for high-grade examples, especially those with sharp details and lustrous finishes. Some have sold at auction for several $1,000s, simply because so few survived in perfect condition. The demand has never been higher, as more collectors return to the hobby seeking the coins of their childhood, and this one, with its quiet mystery, is at the top of that list. There are countless stories of people who unknowingly spent these coins decades ago, not realizing their hidden worth. One woman even shared how she used her father's old $half at a diner to pay for lunch in the 1980s, a coin that, had she kept it, could now be worth more than her car. Moments like that remind us that treasures aren't always locked away in vaults, sometimes, they pass right through our fingers. And every time someone overlooks this coin, another collector gains the upper hand. when you pick up a 1971 half-dollar, pay close attention. The first thing to notice is the absence of a mint mark. There should be no small d or s under the bust of Jefferson. The coin should feature the classic Monticello design on the reverse, crisp details, and that distinct copper-nickel sheen of early 1970s minting. If it looks unusually sharp, clean, or uncirculated, it could be one of the prized examples that collectors are paying top dollar for today. If you believe you found one, don't let it sit unrecognized. Have it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, or consult a trusted coin dealer who specializes in U.S. mint varieties. A simple verification could reveal that what you thought was spare change is actually a piece of history, and potentially a financial windfall. Think about it, that old coffee can of coins in your attic, the change jar sitting quietly on your shelf, or the box of keepsakes you haven't opened in years. Inside could be a 1971 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar waiting to change your story. Every coin has a story, and this one could be yours. So take a look, your next discovery might just be resting where you least expect it. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden history and hidden wealth that's been in your hands all along. 1972. What if I told you that a simple 1972 half-dollar coin, one that might be sitting unnoticed in your drawer or pocket change, could hold more value than gold itself? Yes, the 1972 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar has become one of the most talked-about treasures among collectors, a coin that proves history still hides in plain sight. Imagine finding a piece of American legacy that's quietly gaining power and prestige every single year. Picture this. It's 1972, gas is cheap, Elvis is still on the radio, and families gather around their color TVs for the first time. Among the millions of coins minted that year, a small batch of Jefferson Monticello half-dollars left the presses without a mint mark. No one noticed at the time. They circulated like any other, passed from hand to hand at diners, barbershops, and grocery stores. Decades later, one man from Ohio, while sorting through an old cigar box of coins left by his father, discovered something strange. The coin looked ordinary, but when he tilted it to the light, the missing mint mark revealed a rarity that changed everything. That coin, untouched for years, ended up selling for thousands at auction. The reveal, the truth. So, what makes the 1972 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar so special? Unlike its counterparts bearing the D or S mint marks from Denver or San Francisco, this version was struck in Philadelphia and released in smaller, lesser-known quantities. The absence of the mint mark, combined with its sharp, bold features and strong strike, has made it a centerpiece for collectors seeking near-perfect examples. High-grade versions certified by professional grading services have reached astonishing prices, especially those preserved in original mint condition. Countless Americans have unknowingly spent these coins over the years, not realizing the fortune they held in their hands. Some were tossed into vending machines, others slipped into change jars, or given to children as pocket money. Imagine the feeling of learning you once had one, worth thousands, and spent it on a cup of coffee. The market for these coins is surging, and the time to look is now. Because each day that passes, more of these treasures disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. When examining your coins, focus on one key detail: the date must clearly read 1972, and there should be no mint mark beneath the portrait. The coin should feature Thomas Jefferson's profile and Monticello on the reverse, with crisp edges and bold lettering. Even a slightly worn version can carry impressive value today if authenticated properly. If you think you found one, don't clean it, preserve it exactly as it is. Contact a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC, or consult a trusted coin dealer. They can confirm authenticity and provide a professional grade that determines its true market worth. A verified specimen could transform from pocket change into a collector's dream overnight. So before you let those old coins gather dust another day, take a moment to look closer. That 1972 no-mint mark Monticello half-dollar might just be sitting there, waiting to tell its story, and maybe change yours. Because sometimes, the greatest treasures aren't buried in the ground, they're hiding right in your home, wrapped in memory and time. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history, wealth, and wonder, one coin at a time. 1974 that most people overlooked, but collectors today are hunting for with passion and intensity. The 1974 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar isn't just rare, it's one of those coins that reminds us how history hides in the smallest places, sometimes right in our hands. Back in 1974, America was changing fast, gas lines, new leaders, and a nation still healing from the past. In that same year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Kennedy half-dollars. Most came from the Denver and San Francisco mints, proudly stamped with their little D or S marks. But a handful somehow slipped through without any mint mark at all. No one noticed at first. These half-dollars circulated quietly, passed through diners, gas stations, and Sunday offerings. Decades later, a retired veteran from Ohio opened an old cigar box and found one sitting there, its surface worn, but its mystery intact. That discovery sent shockwaves through the collecting world, because this wasn't just a coin. It was a piece of forgotten American craftsmanship. What makes this 1974 no-mint mark half-dollar so valuable is its mysterious origin. Normally, coins struck in Philadelphia during that era should have no mint mark, but the 1974 issue was supposed to be consistent across all mints. The few known examples without any mark have been tied to rare die varieties, likely a limited experimental run or a mispress that escaped quality checks. Combine that with pristine condition, untouched by circulation, and you've got a coin collectors are paying thousands for today. It's a stunning symbol of how rarity and history meet in one silver disc. Many collectors regret not looking closer. Stories circulate of people who spent these rare half-dollars on coffee decades ago, unaware they were holding what could now fund an entire vacation or more. Don't let that be your story. Every time someone overlooks an old coin, another opportunity slips away, and these coins are getting rarer by the day. Collectors, investors, and historians alike are snapping them up the moment they surface. If you happen to have a 1974 half-dollar, hold it under a good light. Notice the year, 1974, and check below Kennedy's neck. There should be no visible mint mark. The coin should have sharp details and a bright silver-like sheen. If yours has that clean, smooth field and no mint symbol, you might be holding one of the few survivors of a forgotten minting mystery. The best way to confirm its authenticity is by sending it to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. These experts can verify the error, grade its condition, and give you a certification that could multiply its value overnight. Even local coin dealers will be amazed if you bring one in, because few people have ever seen this coin in person. So before you dismiss that old half-dollar sitting in your drawer or coin jar, take a closer look. That unassuming piece of metal might not just be change, it could be your chance to own a living piece of American history, a treasure from a time when every coin told a story. Remember, history doesn't always live in museums, sometimes, it jingles in your hand. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden wealth and wonder of the past, one coin at a time. 1976. What if I told you that a simple 1976 half-dollar, the kind you might have seen as a kid during the bicentennial celebrations, could now be worth thousands of dollars if it's missing one tiny detail? That's right. One single coin, with no mint mark at all, has left collectors across America scrambling to find it. Imagine holding a piece of our nation's 200th birthday, a coin that not only celebrates history, but could quietly change your life today. It was the summer of 1976, parades, fireworks, and patriotic pride filled every town in America. The U.S. Mint released a special coin to honor 200 years of independence, the 1976 bicentennial half-dollar, featuring Independence Hall on the reverse and the proud portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the front. Millions were made, passed through hands at diners, gas stations, and corner stores. But here's where the mystery begins. A small batch of these coins left the mint without any mint mark at all. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. No P for Philadelphia. Just a smooth, empty space beneath Kennedy's neck. For decades, This unnoticed detail went unrecognized, until collectors started realizing that the no-mint mark variety was nearly impossible to find, and those who did find one suddenly found themselves holding a national treasure. The 1976 no-mint mark half-dollar is not just rare, it's a minting mystery. While most bicentennial halves were produced in massive numbers, this small group escaped the minting floor without their identifying mark. Some believe it was an overlooked die used during the transition between production batches. Others think it was an intentional trial strike that slipped through. Whatever the truth, its rarity is undeniable. High-grade examples have fetched thousands at auction, with collectors willing to pay premium prices just to own a flawless, unmarked symbol of America's 200th birthday. Over the years, countless people have spent these coins without realizing what they had. A man in Ohio once told his grandson he used to have a funny-looking 1976 coin that didn't have a letter beneath Kennedy's bust, but he spent it for gas money decades ago. Imagine that, a few gallons of fuel traded for a piece of history now worth a small fortune. That's why this story matters. These coins are still out there, tucked in old coffee cans, forgotten in dressers, waiting to be rediscovered by someone who knows what to look for. When you hold a 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, take a closer look just beneath the president's neck. Most will bear a small letter, D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if that space is completely smooth, with no mint mark at all, you could be staring at one of the rarest bicentennial coins ever struck. The surfaces should be sharp, with clear details and no signs of retooling. Many of these unmarked coins were minted in Philadelphia, but only a handful escaped official record, making every genuine example a prize among collectors. If you think you found one, don't second-guess yourself. Get it professionally authenticated by trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm whether your coin is a genuine no-mint mark variety and even help you determine its grade. The higher the grade, the higher the value. That jar of old coin sitting in your kitchen, the one you've been meaning to sort through? It might hold more than memories, it could hold your future. Each coin tells a story, but some stories are worth more than gold. Keep searching, keep believing, and never underestimate what history hides in plain sight. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the rare, the forgotten, and the priceless pieces of America's past, one coin at a time. 1980. What if I told you that a simple 1980 Jefferson half-dollar without a mint mark, something most people overlook, could be worth a small fortune today? Yes, a coin you might have once used for a soda or tucked away in an old drawer could now be one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin collecting history. Picture this, it's 1980. America is in a time of change, music is booming, families are gathering around wood-panel TVs, and spare change still jingles in every pocket. Among those coins were half-dollars bearing the face of Thomas Jefferson and his Monticello home, simple, strong symbols of America's past. But one small mistake at the mint that year created something extraordinary. A Jefferson half-dollar struck without a mint mark. No P, no D, no S, nothing. Just pure silver-colored mystery. Decades later, collectors began uncovering these elusive coins, realizing they weren't just an error, they were history itself, frozen in metal. The 1980 no-mint mark Monticello half-dollar stands apart because it defies expectation. Every coin is supposed to carry a mint mark, showing where it was born, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this one doesn't. Somewhere in the minting process, the die meant for marking the location was left blank, creating a handful of unmarked coins that slipped quietly into circulation. Today, finding one in pristine condition can fetch thousands of dollars from serious collectors and auction houses. It's not just about rarity, it's about legacy. Many of these coins have already disappeared forever. Some were spent unknowingly at gas stations or tossed into change jars, never to be seen again. Imagine that, a coin that could have paid off someone's mortgage was spent on a morning coffee. That's the heartbreak and the thrill of treasure hunting. Every coin you overlook could be the one that changes everything. So, how do you know if you might have this hidden gem? Start by pulling out your 1980 Jefferson half-dollars. Focus on the date, 1980 is key. Then, look just beside the image of Jefferson, where the mint mark should be. If you see nothing, no letter at all, you might be holding the legendary no mint mark variety. Flip it over and check the details of Monticello. Sharp, crisp designs often indicate a higher value, especially if the coin shows little wear or fading. If you think you found one, don't rely on guesswork. Reach out to trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These are the gold standards in the coin world. A verified grade from them could turn your discovery into a verified collectible worth serious money. Think about it. How many times have you handled an old coin without a second thought? That old jar in your kitchen or the box in your attic could be holding a piece of American history worth more than you ever imagined. Don't let it slip away. Keep searching, keep believing, and who knows, you might just uncover the next great treasure hiding in plain sight. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where every coin tells a story, and maybe, just maybe, one of them could be yours. 1983. What if I told you that a simple $half from 1983, one you might have passed over without a second thought, could be worth thousands today? Yes, a coin minted in the early 80s, bearing the proud image of Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in modern U.S. coin history. It's not just metal and shine, it's a piece of forgotten America, waiting to be rediscovered in your own hands. Picture this, it's 1983. The economy's uncertain, gas prices are climbing, and pocket change feels like it barely stretches far enough. A man in Philadelphia, after buying his morning coffee, pockets a few $half. He doesn't know it yet, but one of them, that 1983 P. Monticello Thomas $half, carries a striking minting anomaly that will make it a collector's dream decades later. The coin travels through hands, counters, pockets, and drawers, quietly aging into a legend. Today, that very same coin has become a symbol of history meeting opportunity, a forgotten piece of the past finally finding its worth. The reason this 1983 P. Monticello $half is so valuable lies in its incredible rarity and the remarkable details of its minting. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, it features sharp Monticello details on the reverse and a distinguished portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. But what makes it truly special is the combination of a limited strike, pristine condition, and known error varieties that collectors go wild for. A perfectly preserved version, especially one showing full Monticello steps and a flawless strike, has fetched astonishing prices at auction, proving that condition and history can turn ordinary change into extraordinary wealth. Too many people have let this treasure slip right through their fingers. Some spent it unknowingly at a gas station or dropped it into a coin jar decades ago, never realizing its potential. Imagine finding out today that you once held a coin worth thousands, only to know it's long gone. That's the heartbreak so many collectors feel when they realize what they once overlooked. But for those who take a moment to look closer, that story doesn't have to be yours. When you hold a 1983 $half, pay attention. The date should read 1983, and the mint mark, P, must be clear under Kennedy's portrait, a mark of the Philadelphia Mint's craftsmanship that year. Turn the coin and study Monticello's steps, the symmetry, the shine. These are the clues that separate an ordinary coin from a historical treasure. If yours gleams with perfect detail and no sign of wear, you might just be holding something truly remarkable. If you believe you found one, don't second guess it. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, the very institutions trusted by collectors worldwide. Their verification could transform your curiosity into confirmed value, and your find into a collector's headline. So before you cash in that old change or overlook that $half sitting in your drawer, take one last look. That coin could be the bridge between your past and your fortune. Every scratch, every shine, tells a story, and maybe, just maybe, yours is waiting to be discovered. Because history isn't lost, it's just waiting to be found. And who knows? That jar in your kitchen might just hold your future. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history hiding in plain sight.